Ahem. Hello. And we're live for Self-Care Sunday. Thank you for being so patient, folks. I know this went from 7:30 to 8, and now it's 8:30. I generally, oh my god, I gotta get a plug for this thing. I generally want to, be in a conversation with you guys about the schedule for this and just the expectations that you have of this show and sort of where you'd love to see it go. We're going to get into that. My plan for this evening, and I'll just go through that really quick and then want to welcome some of you, but I'm at like 23% battery. And this has been a production. I got this all set up to stream the Oscars and watch that with you. And then I realized there's this whole thing about like getting rights to stuff. So I don't think that I can put that on the screen. I do have it on a television in the room, but I'll just be really reacting to it every once in a while. But primarily, we'll just be hanging out and talking in the chat. But yeah, welcome to Self Care Sunday. I see Maya Zulf in the chat. Hello, Maya. Ophelia C. Victoria Frey. Mofe Adenarian. I'm so sorry if I'm messing up names. I really like to pronounce them correctly, and just welcome. It's great to have you here. Lagan McInnes, Kiki Dolly. So great to have you guys here for Self-Care Sunday. Sydney, welcome. What up, Casey? Type here 452. We're here for the night of the Oscars in Bushwick, Brooklyn. I'm here with Tiffany, and I am going to be right back because I need to plug in my laptop before it dies. Alrighty, folks, I got the power plug, so we will not die. Oh, man. It is crunched in this corner. What you can't see just to this side is like a mountain of boxes. Like, so many boxes. Ugh. Oh, God. The reason that I'm not streaming from that computer, I normally am sort of like on this side of the room. In a second, I'll put the volume down on this while they're commercials. But yeah, I have been experimenting with my audio rig. I'll take Tiffy Cam for a moment and show you. This is the mixer I've had for a while. It's a used guy that's given me some problems. And I'm testing out this device and another more portable mixer for a new project that I'm working on. That is exciting. It's an audio project. I won't get too much into it because we're still talking about how we want to release the thing. Whoa. Sorry, my speakers just made a weird sound. But yeah, so my audio life is on this side of the room now. So this is going to probably be the angle for the next couple weeks. But I'm just going to scroll back through the chat. I'm going to make another window of the chat that I can scroll through so that one stays fine. But welcome. How is everybody? I'd love to hear some updates. Sounds like men are the worst. I hear you on eating feelings. So great to have so many friendly folks here. That feeling when you're about to go to sleep. I'm going to return Tiffy Cam to its rightful place. So one of the questions that I have for y'all tonight to answer in the chat is basically what's the most important thing for me to focus on when I think about Self-Care Sunday? Because I don't want to stop doing Self-Care Sunday. And I want to get a better sense of what's a priority. Starting on time or like the bells and whistles in terms of like screen sharing and multicam. Because I think if I were just like pressing live on my phone, I'd be on time every week. It might get weird and be spotty internet like it was last week when I was on my way back from B&H. Yeah. So just one of those things where I want to get a better sense of, is the quality more important, the programming, like having a guest on? Is that what is like the favorite thing? I think the thing that's becoming clear to me is a variable has to change. And I think it's like either I need to stop sort of promising that it's going to start promptly on time, because I think it's just by the time I get into the technical setup, and I'm just such a perfectionist that I feel like I'm unreliable while not stressing myself out to starting on time with the current setup that I have. So I guess like I'm a little bit worried that as I strip away like having the chat in the corner, or like having like the cat in the corner, or other things that rhyme, that this might not be as fun. I don't know. I just like, maybe I should do this on Instagram Live. Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit like, I'm open to suggestions. I'm curious what you guys think would be fun to watch, which would be fun, maybe fun for me to do. And it is fun. And I think there's like, it flirts with the line of becoming work when I start to book guests and stuff. And so I think I'm going to probably have a pause on guests for a while and book a bunch and do it like seasonally. So this is a transition period, I guess, is what I'm saying. And I'm really interested in, just as we casually watch the Oscars, which are back, I'd love to talk with you guys about the sort of the future of this show. And I'm already hearing don't do it on Instagram, which is good feedback. That's exactly what I want to know. Oscars are so fancy, you guys. My parents and I used to watch it every year. And the year, I forget what it lost to. Babel was up for one and lost, and I was done. Whoa, chat moving fast. Damn. All right, best documentary feature is up now. I've seen none of these. I couldn't tell you if they're good or bad. That music sure is telling me to feel tense. And I'm sure documentary is one of my favorite film genres. It's also probably what I've done the most in terms of like actual work produced. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Wow, this chat is on fire. All right. Icarus won the boom. Congratulations, Icarus. Um I feel compelled to say in the chat, I really disapprove of this dude's behavior, Casey Smith. And I hope you don't generalize all of men to being garbage people. I'm not saying that we don't all deserve it at some point. Oh no, Victoria Frey, your very old lizard passed recently, and I've been looking forward to something happy. I hope that very old lizard means that you had it for very many years and got to enjoy the company of your animal friend, as I have come to enjoy cohabiting with this little critter. My feelings and thoughts are with you. Film funding, it's important. Boom. I can just see Gabrielle and Sarah rolling their eyes at. Oh God. It's gonna be a night of these jokes, huh? All right. I think it's better to give an estimated time instead of an exact. Okay, Mitzrayim. So I see somebody saying, Mitzrayim here, it's better to give an estimated time. So I gave an estimated time of 7:30. What's the like acceptable window of time around start time that it's like I'm fucking up to go live that late? Is it an hour? Because I feel like an hour is like unacceptable. I feel like 30 minutes is like more acceptable, and so that makes me feel like the like time range doesn't work as a system because I can't get within a half hour of certainty, or if I do, it's going to be like really late or really early, and it'll just be the first or last thing that I do. Huh. That we could do that. Could wake up at like 6 a.m. on Sundays sometimes. Ugh. Or like if I had set this for like 11 p.m., I definitely would have been up, but I probably should be in bed. So yeah, those are thoughts. I won't do it on Instagram. Thank you, Casey. Congratulations, Crystal, on your snow day. Ooh, music. I'm very concerned about rights, so I will just narrate that there is pretty music being sung with high budget special effects overlaid on them, mixing our singer with what looks like movie clips. Um, a 2 hour time range is okay, Alsha Brown. Like, that's chill. Because in my head, that's like not enough. Oh, that's like too much. That's way too generous. I just was distracted by Mitzrayim's. Can we discuss how low key biased the Oscars are and how they are low key trash? I would never say anything about that. I just like decided they were rigged after one movie I wanted to win didn't win. So I have my bone to pick with the Oscars. I feel like everybody has a bone to pick with the Oscars. How surprising was last year's Moonlight's whew, well-deserved win with huh. Did I go down? That was weird. I think it should be okay. We'll see. Yikes. Okay, so it looks like so a couple things. One, my like stream is crying. So if the like footage is choppy or there's a lot of buffering or like any annoyingness with the stream, you can count on that that's a problem that yeah, is not just you. Sorry about that. Damn you, my internet. That's the one thing that I'm not excited about with my move is I don't have better internet for the convenience of living right next door. But in other news, Tiffy's adorable. And in other news, um, I think a couple people in the chat have mentioned like sort of we've talked in the past about like planning out the steps and like I think the reality is that this space isn't designed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like there's a flexibility of my weekends that I think is important, and I think I can always stream from my phone. So yeah, I guess what I'm working through with you guys now, more than anything, is what's the acceptable window of going late, and if it's 30 minutes, then I'm happy to just start. And I think that that's something that I might need to decide. But I'm surprised to hear that 2 hours is chill. I'm feeling like 30 minutes is more reasonable. And so maybe I'm just going to have a personal rule that if I'm 30 minutes late, I go live from the phone. Thank you for entertaining this stream. This is sort of like a, as always, not quite what I intended. Um, but I think that's one of the things that I most like about streaming is that with all the podcasting I could do, it with all the writing that I typically do, it's all about stepping back. Live requires me to be present in a way that reminds me of meditation. While certain interviewing and certainly, oh, sorry, Tiffy, certainly editing. I think it's commercials. For anybody who's just joined, we're watching the Oscars, but I can't show you the Oscars because you have to pay for the Oscars. Where you cable, it's complicated law, and I'm doing sort of a Q&A with the comments, and I feel it's funny, self-conscious with these streams because I I think I've talked about this in the past in something that I've created. But Ira Glass has a fantastic quote. And then I'll answer the question, lol, how do the Oscars even work? um, I think streams like these where there's like a lot of I can turn off the Oscars. That's not a problem. Mitzrayim, if it means that much to you. I can't tell sarcasm over chat, so like I don't have to watch the Oscars. Honestly, it's probably better for my channel if I don't like risk setting off any content bullshit. I'm not really even paying attention anyway. But while that works itself out in the chat, just like tell me and I'll like not bring the volume back. I'm pulling up the Ira Glass quote. Nobody tells this to people who are beginners. I wish someone told me. This is a quote from Ira Glass, and the context is why I feel self-conscious about live streaming and why I keep wanting to make live streams is I feel like there's a challenge in producing a live show that is fun and unique. It's just something that is exciting and not something that I thought I would be interested in doing. And when I listen to this quote, I get courage to keep making stuff even when I think it's terrible. And that's why I like totally fine to turn off the other thing and do something new because it's a more interesting challenge than sitting back and watching an award show that I don't need to watch and probably won't finish anyway because I think I got like 15 minutes left in me before I got to go get some food and would be happy to answer other questions. So I'm going to finish this Ira Glass quote and then go back to the chat and sort of catch up on where we're at with all that. I'm going to start from the beginning. Nobody tells this to people who are beginners. I wish someone told me. All of us who do creative work, we get into it because we have good taste. But there's this gap. For the first couple of years, you make stuff, it's not that good. It's trying to be good. It has potential, but it's not. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, is still killer. And your taste is why your work disappoints you. A lot of people never get past this phase. They quit. Most people I know who do interesting creative work went through years of this. We know our work doesn't have this special thing that we want it to have. We all go through this. And if you are just starting out, or you're still in this phase, you got to know it's normal. And the most important thing that you can do is a lot of work. Put yourself on a deadline so that every week you will finish one story. It is only by doing a volume of work that you will close that gap, and your work will be as good as your ambition. And I took longer to figure out how to do this than anyone I ever met. It's going to take a while. It's normal to take a while. You've just got to fight your way through. This is one of my favorite quotes, Ira Glass. And yeah, I love the whole process of live streaming. Specifically from having a crazy idea for, in the same way that I love 360 videos to sort of push the boundaries of my imagination with sort of the limitations of the thing and the possibilities of the thing. And so, yeah, I would love to experiment with new formats. I thought driving in from Brooklyn was fun. And maybe I can do some things live from restaurants. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential for this. And I want to balance the line between like more experimentation and garbage quality and great quality, but very little content, because it's just like so hard to do. It takes so much effort to do higher quality streams. So anyway, so that's something I'm thinking about. I'm just scrolling up in the chat. So coming up, I have a quick update before I go, an update about Focused AF. And I think, yeah, I'll get into that in a sec, because that is something that is coming back. Okay, I have now caught up in the chat. Okay, so I'm already getting Calm AF is going to push you back in your practice. That's really exciting. That's exciting to you. That is definitely part of my ambition for bringing back the show. So yeah, the plan right now is to bring it back in April, potentially on my birthday, but definitely in April. And to make it a less frequent show. I was saying weekly. I'm sort of on the fence between doing it weekly or monthly, or just feeling it out and uploading on no particular schedule. I think it helps to have a regular schedule. I would be really curious to know in the chat if you think that if you have some ideas for episodes you'd like. I want to feature more interviews and conversations with like strangers, people that I meet. I want to share more of the things that I'm thinking about with my closest friends, and sort of what keeps me up at night. What gets me out of bed in the morning, a little bit more behind the scenes about the projects that I'm working on, more process, especially around some of the media stuff that I do. that's kind of what I think you can expect from Focused AF. I ran a race this morning. It was a 5K. It was really good, and my watch is really happy about it. Uh, 1 second. Um, as far as Oscar picks go, though, I have no idea what's nominated for an Oscar and what's not. Baby Driver does deserve so many awards, though, as does Get Out. Perla Gill with the every 2 weeks for Focused AF. What do you think? Every 2 weeks? I was thinking every month or every week. Every 2 week does literally split the difference. Uh, Frost Whisker, Focused AF is a podcast that I was doing last year. I started as a daily show that was only going to go on for 30 days. But the next thing I knew, there were over 100 ratings and reviews on iTunes, and I felt like I had to keep it up. And I ended up doing another month and then putting it on pause. And I feel like now's a good time to bring it back. And in fact, it's going to be more than just a publishing schedule different. Obviously, it's not going to be a daily show. As a weekly show, I think the episodes will be slightly longer and a little bit more produced. There will also be an online community that is already launched, and you can sign up for the beta today at community.focused.af. That's community.focused.af. And if you go to focus.af in your web browser, there's a web page for the new show. It'll be the same RSS feed, so if you're already subscribed, you're fine. If you haven't subscribed yet, those links are on that site, focus.af. I would love to see you there. And I really appreciate that. I assume that's at me, like, don't wear yourself out. Catalisi. That's exactly why I wanted to talk to you guys about this show. I don't want to make like crazy changes without sort of like thinking out loud about it with y'all. And so I'm going to do some soul searching and think about if 2 hours is acceptable for me for a range. And if I settle on something like 30 minutes, I'll probably start with an hour. Just like I'm going to consider starting Focused AF every other week. But while I'm getting those episodes together, I wouldn't mind a prompt from you guys. In fact, like prompts, plural. Feel free to tweet them at me, or when this video isn't live, you can leave a comment in this video with just some ideas for just prompts for podcasts. It may inspire a full episode. It may inspire a joke in one. I don't know. But I would be interested to see what prompts you guys have. I'll accept them from anywhere, but we'll probably be voting on them in the community. So if you haven't joined community.focus.af, I highly recommend that. I really appreciate that. You have to be honest about your limits and not push yourself. And that's the thing where it's like, I want to be honest about my limits, and I want to stretch. And I don't know if that requires pushing myself. I don't want to beat myself up at any point in this process. I feel like for me, content creation can't become a thing that damages my health. And I know that may mean it never makes me the kind of living that people who I just look at, I'm like, it feels like you're burning the candle from both ends, brother. Um, I don't know. And I am inspired to like grow and improve, but I like that can't come at any self harm, I think. So anyway, as I continue to balance that, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna say goodnight for now. Um, just a reminder: Emma Sherjarko has a new podcast. It's called Pairing Podcast. Who's Emma Sherjarko? Well, you probably haven't listened to Wolf 359, the sci-fi audio drama that Emma and I are in. She plays Commander Minkowski, who runs a tight ship. And that is a wonderful new show. It's about pairing wine with pop culture. She's a baby sommelier, in her own words, and is going to be your guide to how what we love to watch and read goes with what some of us love to drink. And even if you don't love wine, it's a awesome time. Very different speed from Wolf. It's a talk show. Definitely something that if you're an audio drama friend with a lot of podcast friends that don't love audio dramas, this may be a way to sneakily recommend Wolf 359 to them because they will fall in love with Emma. So anyway, enjoy the Pairings podcast. And so glad you guys love Wolf 359. That just means the world to all of us at Kinda Evil Genius. It's been great. It's been great to see the support for the show continue since we wrapped it up. And about wrapping things up, that about wraps up Self Care Sunday. Be well, good people. I will see you next week.